G'day, it's Pete here. I'm back for a featured lesson, and today I'm going to be talking all about Quant. So Quant is a way of inviting a slam. It's a bit tricky because it overlaps with other for no trump bids, and most people just routinely think of using Blackwood. But Quant is a very useful tool, and it's really natural, so it's not too complicated. Anyway, today I'm going to talk all about it, so let's get into it and see what we're going to do. So first of all, I'm going to start off with what is Quant, and then talk about some of the situations that it applies, and then also how you continue after a quantitative for no trump bid. I'll briefly talk about Grand Slam Quant. It's something that comes up even rarer, but it's useful to know what it is and why it works. I'll talk about some other options for Quant. So I'll give like the basic ones earlier, and then I'll talk about some other ones of how you can use Quant, because Quant's quite a useful tool to know. And then I'll cover how to set a suit. Now, this is sort of contrary to using Quant. So some options where you can use Quant, but you actually want to use Blackwood instead. How do we actually get to a point where we can set a suit and then use Blackwood? And then I'll just finish off with some example hands. So anyway, what is Quant? Okay, well, Quant is a way of just making a natural invite to 6 no trumps. So if we look at other options where if you just played basic system, you might use 2 no trumps as saying, partner, are you minimum or maximum, and do you want to go to 3 no trumps? Okay, so you would use this as just an invitational bid to game. Now what Quant is an invitational bid to slam. And the way it works is instead of bidding 2 no trumps, you bid 4 no trumps. Now, as I said, this looks a lot like Blackwood, and it actually overlaps with Blackwood here and there, so you need clear distinctions of when it's Quant and when it's not Quant. Okay, but basically, Quant is used to say, partner, if you're minimum, let's just stop there, and if you're maximum, I want you to go to slam. So bid like this. This is basically the essence of Quant. If you're minimum, I want you to stop low. If you're maximum, let's go. And I'm just wanting to get you to refine your point range just that little bit more, so we know if we've got enough points for slam. So that is Quant. So when does Quant apply versus when does Blackwood apply? Okay. So I like Quant to apply when we don't have a fit. So if we haven't found a fit and we're playing in no trumps, then we typically want to use Quant rather than Blackwood. But just a simple one to start with is that basically whenever opener shows a balanced hand, so maybe 1 no trump past 4 no trumps, or 2 no trumps past 4 no trumps, or possibly even something like this, so where it goes 1 club, 1 something by responder, 2 no trumps, pass 4 no trumps. Now, some people play that it has to be a jump to 4 no trumps like this. It doesn't strictly have to do that, because some auctions get a bit tight and a bit crammed for room. But basically, if opener shows a balanced hand, using 4 no trumps as quantitative over their no trump bid is a very good start. Now, there are other options that I'll discuss later, but basically if partner shows this balanced range and you know sort of how many points they've got, you can use Quant to say, are you minimum for your point range or are you maximum? Okay, so they're the 3 sort of common ones when opener shows 15 to 17 balanced and opens 1 no trump, when they show 18, 19 balanced and bids 2 no trump, or if they just open 2 no trumps to start with for 20 to 22, or whatever your point ranges are. Okay, and the responder can just jump to 4 no trumps to say, are you minimum or maximum? So let's look at a couple of these options. So what does responder need to bid 4 no trumps here? Okay, so to work this out, you need to think, what has opener shown? What sort of point range have they shown? So here, opener's actually shown a pretty narrow range of 18 or 19 points. So we want 33 points to make slam. So what does responder need to make a quantitative bid? They basically need 14 points or a very, very good 13 count to invite slam. And for no trumps would say, partner, if you're 18, please pass. And if you are 19, let's go on to slam. Okay, so that's if the north hand showed 18-19 balanced. What about if they opened one no trump? Okay, so here they're showing 15 to 17 points. So what do we need to make slam? So this one's a bit of a wider range, so it's a little bit trickier. So obviously if they've got 17, you only need 16 points. If you've got 16, then responder will need 17. So basically, if you've got a good 17, you're just going to go to slam anyway. But this for no trump bid here is a 16 or a bad 17 sort of points. And it says, opener, if you are minimum, please pass. And if you're maximum, let's go on to slam. Okay. Now, one of the common questions I get is, but what if you're missing two aces? Okay, so basically, if you have 33 points, you're not going to be missing two aces. So Quant's just trying to find out if you've got enough points and enough power to get there, because you don't have a good fit to get you over the line otherwise. So in which case, you just need the sheer number of points to sort of give you the chance of making slam. And if you've got 33 points, you're not going to be missing two aces. Now, for a couple of these, I said, you know, a very good sort of this point range or a very good this sort of point range. And if you've got a very good hand as the responder, it means you probably got a bunch of aces in your hand. So if partner's going to accept, you usually won't be off two aces, even if you've got some good powerful hands. But basically, if you quant and your partner accepts, you'll typically have 33 points. You're not missing two aces, so you didn't need to actually use Blackwood for that instance anyway. The third time that I was going to mention is when opener opens two no trumps. So here they're showing 20 to 22 or maybe 20 to 21, depending on your point range. What do you do? So let's say that it was 20 to 22. Now, with this, I would go with 12 points because it's a wide range. If you've got 12 points, or at least a bad 12 points, then you can bid for no trumps. If you had a really good 12 points, I'd just bid slam. But this would say, partner, if you're maximum, let's go, and if you're minimum, let's stop. So what can the quant bid be done on here? So here it can be done with a good 11 to a okay 12. And basically it says, partner, do you want to go on to slam? If not, if you're minimum, pass. So if you're 20, you would just pass. If you're a good 21, you would accept here, depending on your point range, if it was 20 to 22. Okay, so this is what the general quants show over the main common sort of ranges. Okay, so how do we continue over quant? So I've given the basics of it. Obviously, if you are minimum, you just start with a pass. If you are maximum, you just go on to slam. Now, there are a few other bids that are a bit rare, but you can offer partner another suit. So, partner's just typically got a balanced hand. They haven't looked for a fit. So, there are times where, you know, even though they haven't looked for a fit, you might want to play somewhere. So, the common choices are either pass or going to six no trumps. These are your main responses that you'll do. So they're the ones you basically want to learn. If you're minimum, pass. If you're maximum, go on. I like to have a few extra things where you might be able to jump to something like six clubs or maybe even bid five clubs or something like that. Now, what I like this to show is showing another suit saying, yes, I want to accept. Because if I didn't want to accept, I'd just pass. And here, what I like to do is, where it's clearly quant, if I jump to the sixth level, it says, yep, I've got this 4-card club suit, and just checking if you wanted to play in like a 4-4 minor suit fit. Obviously, the responder could just go, no, let's play six no trumps. Or if they liked it, they could pass, those sorts of things. So I like jumping to the 6th level to be a 4-card suit, and bidding at the 5 level saying I've got a 5-card suit. So the slower I take it, the longer my suit is. That's my preference. All kinds of people do different things when offering suits after Quant. Some people will only offer a 5-card suit. So I might play this as I have 5 clubs and not use the 5 level. I like that little bit of distinction of showing how many I've got in the suit in case my partner wants to play in a fit there, because often opener will have a 4 or 5 card. Well, they'll have a 4-card suit. Often they'll have a 5-card suit as well. And when partner doesn't look for any majors, then you might have this minor suit fit that might play well. And also you could use 5 no trumps to say, hey, I've got both minors. Do you want to play in one of these? So these were just the little extra continuations of what you do. The way I like it, if you jump to the 6th level, it's a 4-card suit. If you bid at the 5 level, just slower, it's a 4-card suit. And if you bid 5 no trumps, it's both minors. You can discuss with your partnership what bidding suits over Quanta is. This was just my preference and what me and my partner did. It's a little counterintuitive, so I wouldn't always recommend that. But the main thing is you can bid other suits or bid other things to indicate that you've actually got some suits that you might want to play in after the quantitative bid. The main thing you have to remember is pass is a minimum, and that's what you're going to be doing on all minimums. Most maximums, you're just going to be bidding 6 no trumps. There is a little bit of room to do some other things. You can discuss with your partner what sort of suit length you actually do show when you do that. But that's basically how you do Quant. The pass and the 6 no trumps are the main parts. You can look into bidding other suits and what it shows. Alright, I was going to touch on Grand Slam Quant. So sometimes, if you've got 37 or more points, you want to play in Grand Slam. And sometimes when partner opens or shows a balanced hand, you might not know if you're at 37 or maybe 35, like depending on what their range is. And you want to say, hey partner, are you maximum or minimum for your range? I either want to play in Slam or Grand Slam. So what can we do for that? Well, 4 no trumps is our invite to Slam. So this says if your minimum pass, if your maximum go to 6. If you're a bit stronger and have enough points, you can just bid 6 no trumps straight away. The Grand Slam Quant's a bit counterintuitive. What you can actually do is bid 5 no trumps. And this really doesn't come up this often, but I just thought I'd bring it in there just to round out the knowledge of Quant. And basically this says, partner, if you're maximum, I want you to go to 7. And if you're minimum, instead of passing me, just bump it up to 6 no trump. Okay. So if you're min, just put us into 6 no trump. If you're maximum, let's go to 7 no trump. You don't want to use 5 no trump as just a Slam invite because it's just too close to Slam. Whereas 4 no trumps gives you a little bit of leeway. So often when I reject a quantitative invite, I often only make 10 tricks. And if you had to play 5 no trumps, that would be too dangerous. So 5 no trumps is a Grand Slam invite. Only over balanced hands, like 2 no, 5 no, 1 no, 5 no, something like that. 5 no trump can be used as lots of other sort of grand invites or pick a slams in all kinds of different auctions, but over a 1 no trump opening or a 2 no trump opening, if you jump to 5 no trump, it says if you're minimum, let's go to 6. If you're maximum, let's go to 7. And that's how Grand Slam Quant works. So next I just wanted to talk about some other auctions to Quant. Now you don't always just open 1 no trump and just go straight to 4 no trump. Sometimes you might try and find a major suit fit. So probably the most common one for me is when you have something like this and you use the Stamen convention and you try and find a fit. Okay, so let's say we had an auction like this. So it goes 1 no trump past 2 clubs, your partner bids 2 spades, and as the responder, the south hand, you have 16 points, but you've got 4 hearts. What do you do in this case? Okay, Now, if you've got 16 points, if partner's only got 15, you don't want to play in slam. You don't have a fit in spades, so you don't just want to key card and then choose to bid slam or not, because if you bid 4 no trumps and partner responds key card, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do then. And if you just go low and bid 3 no trumps, whenever partner's maximum, you'll miss a slam. So what can you do here? So for this, I actually like 4 no trumps to still be quant, because we haven't agreed a suit. Now, I like it if you have a chance to agree a suit but don't do it, then 4 no trumps is still quantitative. Now, this is one, for all these auctions that I discuss, these aren't just assumed. You want to discuss these with your partner before it happens. But I like this to say, I've got about 16 points, and I had 4 hearts, because that's why I use Stamen, and trying to find out if you're minimum or maximum for slam. Nothing about spades. But if that's the case, how do we set spades and slam try? What if I had the 16 count with a spade fit that's actually interested in slam and spades? Well, what I like to do, and what's commonly used after a Stamen convention, is that bidding the other major, typically at the 3 level, sets that suit. So here, 3 hearts would say absolutely nothing about hearts. It is completely artificial and just says, partner, I'm interested in slam, and we have a fit, and then this allows you to start a Q bidding auction, because we don't always want to rush into key card, so it's usually good to start being able to set a Q bidding auction before just necessarily key carding. So after Stamen, you can use bidding the other major as setting that suit and then allowing you to slam try. So you might then get a Q bid out of partner. And now, after this would be Blackwood. We have set the suit, we've told partner what trumps is, and now we can use Blackwood. Whereas if we just jump to 4 no trumps back at this stage, this would say, I wanted to invite you to slam, and I didn't have a fit. So if you jumped before, if you didn't set the suit when you had the chance, it's quant, and otherwise it's, if you do set the suit, then it's Blackwood. So if you ever have a fit, it is most definitely Blackwood. If you had a chance to set the trump suit but don't, then I typically play it as quant. But remember, these ones aren't just assumed. You want to discuss these other auctions with partner. Okay, so similarly, what if partner bid 2 hearts? Now to set the suit, we want to bid the other major. Now we've got the option of bidding 2 spades or 3 spades. Again, this is something you need to discuss with partner. How do we actually set the heart suit? The most common way is just bidding 3 spades here. But some people use 2 spades to do it. Anyway, after this, you would be able to start a Q bidding auction and then eventually keycard. If instead you didn't want a keycard but you had 4 spades and a 16 count, you can just jump straight to 4 no trumps, and this can be quant, saying, partner, if you're minimum, let's pass. If you're maximum, I want you to go on to 6 no trumps. Or if opener had 4 spades as well as 4 hearts, they might bid something like this as well, because you've said I've got 4 spades. So you can still use quant in this auction, maybe find your fit later on. So that was one other auction for quant. And it's all about, if you can set a suit but don't, then 4 no trumps still quant. If you do set your suit, then obviously it's Blackwood. So that's after Stamen. Another one depends on the rest of your system. So let's say you play transfers at the 2 level and the 4 level, like some people do. Then what you can do is transfer at the 2 level. And if you bid 4 no trumps here, this would be quant, because this just shows 5 hearts and about 16 points. Whereas if you play transfers at the 4 level, if you don't do them, don't worry, it's not something you need to do. I'm just letting people who do play transfers at the 4 level understand this. If you played this, where this 4 diamonds shows a 6 card suit, now you know you have a fit, and you can still bid quant this way. Sorry, keycard this way. So this would be keycard. The original one was Quant because you transferred at the 2 level. If you don't play transfers at the 4 level, another thing you might do is you might play something like this, being natural slam try. And if you do that, this would show a 6-card suit. So if you bid this way, and now you bid 4 no trumps, well, you didn't jump to 3 hearts the first time, showing your natural slam try, but you definitely have a slam try, so this would still show 5 hearts and a quantitative invite. Again, these are the options you need to discuss with your partner before you just bust them out and expect them to realize this isn't Blackwood or anything like that. But I really like Quant. I recommend starting to introduce Quant into more of your auctions. It's quite useful because it also allows you to work out how you can set a suit at a lower level and get into a Q bidding auction rather than just rushing off to keycard. And that's a really vital point for slam bidding, and working that out is useful, but if you just have a quantitative invite, you also want to be able to make them. So that's how we can use Quant after Stayman, also after transfers. It depends on what system you play after both of them, what your bids are. That's after 1 no trump. Let's look after 2 no trump. So after 2 no trumps, if we use Stayman and have this auction, if we want to set the spade suit, all we have to do is bid the other major. So 3 spades here says, yes, I have a fit in hearts and I want to start a slam trying auction. If instead I had spades and had like a 16 count, not a 16 count, good 11, sort of bad 12 count that wanted to make a quantitative invite, I can just jump to 4 no trumps. So in all these auctions, it's do you have a chance to set the suit, or are you just making a quantitative bid? And here, this would say I am invitational to slam. I also had spades. If you're minimum, please pass. If you're maximum, go to 6 no trumps, maybe 6 spades if you've got a fit for that as well. It's a bit more clunkier if partner bids 3 spades. The only way of setting spades is bidding 4 hearts. Again, this is completely artificial and just says, partner, I have a fit for you and I'm interested in slam. Now, you don't really have room for Q bidding here, but remember, Q bidding is a bit of a luxury. If you have the space, you do it. Some auctions, the only way of setting a trump suit takes up a bit too much space. So this would be how you set spades. If instead you just bid 4 no trumps, this would be Quant, saying we didn't find a fit, but I'm still invitational to slam. So they're common things. And again, you can do it after transfers as well. So if you transfer at the 3 level and then bid 4 no trumps, if this doesn't agree a fit or anything like that, this would be Quant. If you do have a fit, then it's keycard. Also depends, do you have the transfers at the 4 level? What is the rest of your system? But you want to look after Stayman and transfers. How do I set my suit, or how do I not set my suit and just use Quant? You want to understand that. Discuss this with your partner. It's a useful way because you want to be able to use Blackwood. You also want to be able to use quantitative when you haven't found a fit. So it's important to discuss, how do I set my suit after a Stayman bid, after a transfer bid, and get a good understanding of how to do that. They're the main things to Quant. We'll now look at some example hands. So we've got all the cards up here, but we're just looking at the north-south cards here. Now, north has 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, 21 points and a 5-card suit. They can open 2 no trumps. And south here has 12. Now, it's an okay 12. I might force to slam with this. It's borderline to Quant or to force to slam. But let's just say that we're invitational. So they start with 3 clubs, because they first want to find out, do they have a spade fit? Now, when partner bids 3 hearts, saying that they've got a heart suit, now the south hand's got 12 points, and Some people might feel stuck and think that they just have to bid 6 no trump, but you could still have your spade fit, so you don't want to do that. But instead bid 4 no trumps and invite them, because remember, if you had hearts, you would have set the heart suit first. So this is just inviting partner. And the north hand has 21 high card points and a 5 card suit. I would say that's a pretty good 21 count, so I would accept. And now they've got a couple of options here. They've got an extra heart, so they could actually jump to 6 hearts here. Now they showed 4 here, and now if they jump to 6, this says, yes, I was willing to accept the quantitative invite, and I've got an extra heart. And now this hand can just say, look, I didn't have the heart fit, I just wanted to go there. If instead North had, say, 4 spades and 4 hearts, they could jump to 6 spades. And the auction would go like this. If they only had 4 hearts, they can just jump to 6 no trumps themselves. So these were their options with accepting. Obviously, if they were minimum, they would just pass. But here it's a pretty nice 21 count with a 5 card suit. So I would just go to 6 hearts on the hand. But if you just bid 6 no trump, that's also okay. So that was the first hand. Let's have another look. All right, what do we have here? Again, North has a pretty nice hand. They've got 10, 17, 22 points, so they are maximum. And they start with 2 no trumps again. And this time the South hand has 12, and just an average 12, so definitely wants to invite. Now here it would go, they've got a 4 card heart suit, so instead of just rushing off to invite like this, they want to check if they have their 4-4 heart fit. So I would start with 3 clubs, and partner, the north hand bids 3 spades. Now, to actually invite and just make a quantitative bid, they can bid that now, because if they wanted to set spades, the way they do that again is just bid the other major and bid this. But they don't have a spade fit, so they just come back with 4 no trumps, quantitative, and the north hand looks at their hand, they've got 22, so they're maximum. They don't have anything extra to show, they don't have other shape, and they can just bid 6 no trumps here. Next hand, what does North have here? 14, 16, 18. Okay, so to show 18 points and a balanced hand, they want to start with 1 of a minor, and South just bids 1 diamond. And they jump to 2 no trumps to show 18 or 19 balanced. And now the South hand has 14. So if the North hand has 19, they want to go. If the North hand has 18, they want to stay low because they won't have enough points. So with this, again, you can just jump to 4 no trumps, because if you wanted to explore a fit, you had lots of other room to do this. And this North hand is absolutely minimum. They've got 18. They've also got a terrible shape, 4 triple 3. So this is a pretty easy pass for this North hand to say, look, I am not interested in going on, and you can stop there. So South gets to make their invite, North gets to decline it. Okay. Here, North has 16. Babs just said, Pete, I was taught not to quant over 1 no trump with a 16 count and a 4 triple 3. Any advice on that? Okay, so basically 4 triple 3s are pretty terrible shapes. If you've got a 16 count, if partner's got 17, then you've got enough points. If partner's got 16 and they accept, then you're in sort of bad shape, because 4 triple 3s are bad. Basically, I'd say it's reasonable not to make a quantitative invite on a 4 triple 3 16, but if everything about your 16 is really good, other than the fact that it's a 4 triple 3, say that it's all aces and kings, you have intermediates, all sorts of things like that, then it's okay. So it's a very borderline decision. If you got a 4 triple 3 16, you can choose not to quant with that. Basically, 4 triple 3s, you want to sort of hold back a bit, no matter what sort of point range partner's opened. Yeah, touch and go either way. Good news, South here has a 4-3-3-16. 10, so what do we have? 16 points, North will open 1 no trump. Here, this South hand is pretty average, so should probably just bid 3 no trumps, because it doesn't actually have that many intermediates. It's got this 10-9, but it's got spread out points and not that flush. So I would probably just bid 3 no trumps here. If you did bid 4 no trumps, because I said it's a borderline call, then this North hand looks at their hand and they have 16. They're smack bang in the middle, and usually I go with good 16s and all 17s. Here you could choose to pass. Again, a very borderline decision whether to go or not, but you can actually make slam on this hand if you guess everything, but you could easily go down and slam. If you just lay down the ace of hearts, you drop the singleton jack, and then you have 3 hearts, 3 clubs, 4 diamonds, and 2 spades. But another normal way to play this might be a heart to the 10 or something like that, which would make you go down. But this is very borderline of whether you go or not, and it's really sort of a judgment call. You can look at your shape. Is it a useful shape or not? And 4-3-3s are not fantastic. Okay, and the final hand that I wanted to show was this one. North again has a 16 count with a 5-card suit. They start with 1 no trump. And South has 16, 4-2-3-4. And so they're interested in slam, but they have that 4-card spade suit, so they want to check out, do they have a spade fit first? So they'll start with Stamen. And their partner bids, not 2 no trumps, 2 spades. Okay, so they found a fit. Now, they're definitely interested in slam. They do not just rush to 4 no trumps. This would be quantitative, saying we don't have a fit. So if you have a chance to set the suit first, we want to do that. So they want to set that, and the way of doing that after a Stamen bid is by bidding the other major at the 3 level. This says, I have a fit in spades, nothing about hearts, but I am interested in slam. Let's start a Q bidding auction. And now the North hand can bid for diamonds, saying I have control of diamonds but do not have first or second round control of clubs. And now the South hand with control of hearts, control of clubs, and knows diamonds is not a worry, can now bid 4 no trumps and then progress on to find out that they have all the key cards and can give slam a shot, and probably go down on this hand because they'll lose a spade and another trick. But that's how they could migrate there. So if you have a fit, remember it's important to work out how can we set the suit and start slam trying and go from there. Anyway, this was everything I was going to cover in my lesson on Quant. I hope you enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. Saw those example hands. Today I covered what is Quant, how it's just this natural invite to slam. When does it apply? Typically after partner's shown a balanced hand, like 1 no, 4 no, 2 no, 4 no, those sorts of auctions. You can also use it in different auctions where you know you don't have a fit or chose to turn down setting a suit. Those ones it's important to discuss with your partner. How do we set the suit? Do we play Quant over that? Those sorts of things. I discussed Grand Slam Quant, how you can make an invite to Grand Slam, typically over just 1 no trump or 5 no trumps. Doesn't come up that much in other auctions, but 5 no just says if your minimum, go to 6 no trumps, if your maximum, go to 7 no trumps. And then we gave the other auctions for Quant sort of after Stamen, after transfers, how we can do that, and also how to set a suit. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.